This is integrated design. Anyone know what integrated design is? Right? Remember I described the traditional design where Act 1 is certain people, Act 2 is certain people, Act 3 certain people. Integrated design, everyone comes in Act 1, right? When I walked around the building a couple of weeks ago, right, there were 20 of us, right? I was just like, oh my God, I own this building, right? And I looked around and said, well, everyone here does. When you're involved early, it changes everything. And you'll see what that means in a minute. I said that with integrated design, it's like biophilia, you can't describe it. What emerges from it is something you can't predict, right? What emerges from it. It is emergent architecture, right? And I'll show you how things emerged in this building that you could never predict, right? I would do anything for this project, anything, right? Because I own it, I love it, and I own it, and we all do. But look where we start, right? Take a structural engineer, right, out of their comfort zone and put them here. So at our very first design meeting, I was asked, right? Everyone was asked, but we went through everything, and everyone said, Damian, what does the structure want to be, right? I mean, most people would panic. I don't know. So what do you think I said? Seriously, what do you think I said?
Let's ask the structure.
That's right. We'll ask the structure what it wants to be. Love it. I said, well, let's start with timber, right? So I said CLT or timber stick framing. Let's start with that. So slowly, over the course of 6 months, we ended up getting with this as the form. This is the location, so the form where we're integrating the landscape and the water narrative. Here's the site. And here's when the design was finished. We never went to tender because the builder was always involved, but this is what we had. So beautiful timber glulam beams held up by steel posts and timber posts, right? Just keep that in your mind because it'll become relevant in a second. Curved glulam beams, they're actually done by Curvewood. You'll see them in a minute. Ice skating rink. It's not an ice skating rink. Anyone have any idea what that is? It's the concrete slab. But what's the best way to cure concrete? Water. Haven't seen that in 20 years. But Walter ponded the concrete to cure it. Right? It's the best way to cure. Haven't seen it. It's so onerous. Anyway, haven't seen it in a long time. Ultrafloor. Right? Shout out to Ultrafloor. Amazingly sustainable in terms of concrete. And the reason we moved away from hardwood floor is because of the durability. Right? Hardwood floor is so much maintenance and so hard. And this is a fully trafficked. It's a childcare center. Fully open, well, it's not a childcare center, it's open to the community. You can just walk in there. Walter engaged a local artist, glass artist, who came and sprinkled. So while they set the concrete, she came and sprinkled glass on the concrete, wet concrete, and made a river down the middle of the. So you follow this little river as you follow through the center. So here we are. Prefab timber framing, the glulam beams sitting on some of the framing. Look at the purlins, they're trusses, not solid timber. So that was a part of our materialization strategy to get rid of timber. They were solid LVLs. So here it is, just prefab. Here's the glulam. This is by a guy named Ron, who works at Curvewood. He's 150 years old, he's been doing this for 100 years. And what he does was any idea what this is? This is the glulam, this is the profile of the glulam and all the laminas. And what he does is he says, oh, I think that bit of timber is working hard, color it red, and I'll pick out the best bit of timber and I'll put it there. So he does like the layout of the timber based on how he thinks the beam is working, right? I mean, it's just bizarre. So the red is the bits that are working hard, yellow is not working hard at all. Here's Sam, cutting the LVLs. Here's the LVL in place. I'm going to end on this, right? Probably the one, I already said I had the most magical moment previously but this is another magical moment, one of those magical moments, and this is the emergent stuff. This is stuff that you cannot predict when you think about integrated design. Walter rang me, Damian, Walter, what's going on? He was on the site for 2 days. He goes, I'm going to send you a photo. So he sent me this. And I was looking for an owl, like I thought that was an owl. I said, yeah, I see an owl or something maybe, Walter? Or is there a bird somewhere or something? He goes, no, Damian, I'm about to cut this tree down. It's on the site. He said, but do you know what I'm thinking? Are you serious, Walter? I've never done that before. I said, but this is those magic moments. It's like, but I am not going to be the one who says no. 5 of them hold up the roof of the center. So this is open day. Was an absolute cracker of an afternoon. And there you go. There's the trees. 5 of them. We did get a specialist. I had to get I didn't know quite how to do it, so I had to get a guy named Richard Forrester. Strangely enough, it was meant to be, wasn't it? Richard Forrester. Not only did we have to certify the timber, but we had a challenge of they didn't want the timber to leave the site, right? As soon as it leaves the site, it's lost, right? And there's transportation, carbon, like all sorts of crap that goes on. So we wanted everything. So we took a chainsaw. I said it needed to be millimeter perfect, with the chainsaw. Come on, Sam, millimeter perfect. So anyway, it wasn't millimeter perfect. I'm just being facetious there. So we created this crazy detail where we were able to put the timber in place and then rotate it so that we could line up the branches to line up with the glulam. So we did this crazy detail where we could put it in, rotate it, and then lock it into position. And here's Sam diligently carving away. That's where the glulam's going to go. And there it is in place. That's it.